Wow, that was quick. Thanks, YouTube. It's nice when things go like that. Uh, and I got audio, audio. All right, I got audio. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, there's nobody here, but whenever y'all get around to catching this, I do sincerely hope that you're having a marvelous day and that it just gets better second by second and minute by minute. Um, and there's no reason why it shouldn't. Um, oh, my goodness. Hi, Joe. Good to see you. Good to see you in the chat here. Um, so, what have we learned? Um, we've learned a lot. We've learned that we've been tricked. We've learned that the system works against us. And we've learned that it's bar members that are pretty much the, I don't know, the regulators, because they're everywhere and they're there to uh, make money through piracy. And they're for whatever reason, they're morally bankrupt, and so they just continue to do it. That's what we've learned. And every time there's something that gets traction, um, the the groups get infiltrated by troublemakers, and then this is I think this is a system. Um, what I'm gonna attempt to express to y'all. I think it's a dirty fucking trick. I do. You see, I talk about all the 80-20 guys, the 90-10, the 95-5 guys, right? They got excellent information, or so it would seem. And they start educating and they get people focused. But they don't tell them the whole story, and or they lead them down the path to self-destruction and destruction of that group and that movement. And then so there's also those that have desperately studied and struggled and went through that process and got themselves a passport that has them on the do not detain list. And that's where the fuckery is. because these people that were so passionate and desperate, needy, wanting, searching, they found a little place of peace in um, in a really chaotic world. It's like, and then they fade away from the patriot movement, and so the combination of all of this is just fuckery that is in further enslaving you. Getting on that do not detain list doesn't stop them from all the other fuckery that they do. All right. Your medical, your dental, judicial, and it don't help your brothers and your sisters. So that's not a reason to get out of the fight. You're still trapped in fraud. You're stuck in a box where you don't exist. You need to become a fact. And organize. And so I think pretty much all the gurus, um, I think pretty much all the gurus agree that the all caps name is a fraud. What do you think, Joe? If we were to serve, if we could survey all the gurus, is the all caps name a fraud upon the people, or is it a legitimate, legal, lawful? Come on, give me an answer, Joe. What do you think? All caps equals fiction. Yes. Is it a fraud? Have they defrauded the American people in that fiction? Have they deceived us? Thank you. Joe says yes. All right. So if we can all agree that the all caps name is a fraud, it is a fiction, it was created without our knowledge and our consent, and it's been used to enslave us our entire lives. I think we can all agree on that. Yes, lack of full disclosure, certainly. Certainly. Um, and then um, all the other bastardization to what's good, um, brainwashing you into this dimension, this delusional fiction world and fear based. So it's these are crimes, and these are compound crimes. So let's keep it stupidly simple. What's the foundation of all of it? Can can we say that the birth certificate, the all caps name, the creation of that is a major part of the foundation? Now, keep in mind, foundation, maybe some of you don't really, never really thought about it, but there's several aspects to a foundation. Now, first of all, you've got the earth. You've got what you're gonna. So you, you're gonna have to work with the earth. So you can't be in an area of quicksand. You don't want to be too close to the cliff that keeps eroding into the ocean, or precariously, it's right. So your earth, your position, your location, the soil condition, this all got to be taken into consideration for your foundation. And then you're gonna create a foundation merged with the earth. And in many cases, that's a wood foundation. In many cases, it's a concrete foundation, or a stone wall foundation, or a block foundation. And typically, very, very common is a concrete foundation, and it's not just concrete. No, there's rebar in there, and there's drain pipes, because you've got a drain tile around the outside of the foundation, a weep tile around the outside of the foundation, and you don't want the hydraulic pressure of the water building up on the foundation walls from the outside, pushing inside where there's basically no structural support. And that's why, when you'll get your walls cracking and water leaking in. So you have a weep tile at the foundation level that's there with pea gravel. So you've got a lot of elements already in your foundation, don't you? And then you're going to have hurricane clips, tornado clips, on the top part of that foundation that's going to secure the wood structure that's going on top. So rather than to say the all caps name is the foundation, I think we got to look at it as it's a part of the foundation, and then look at what the other parts are. Now, don't lose track of the fact that it's a fraud. So don't overanalyze the situation. Joseph, certificate of live birth is the foundation. All other forms of so-called identification derives from the COLB. Oh, I'm not familiar with that acronym, Joe. Well, you see, you've got a doctor involved with that birth certificate. You've got records keepers. you've got, must have been some kind of um, policymaker, lawmaker, somebody created that system. So there's components to the foundation, but I think that we can pretty much zero in on the fact that that all caps name is a primary evidentiary fact of fraud upon you, me, everybody, all of us. Now, let's keep it real simple. If that all caps name is put through the post, it started out as a fraud. Now the fraud is moving through the post. Aren't there aren't there laws, rules within the departments of the post, especially when it comes to mail fraud? What do you think, Joe? Somebody else. YouTube says there's 2 people here, so who knows? Maybe there's 20, but I won't know unless you come into the chat and say hello. So I think we can agree that when that all caps name, when you fuck up, when you fuck up and because you've been brainwashed, you've been deceived. Now I'm talking in babble, obviously. I'm not putting forth mathematically correct sentence structure that takes us out of babble. So uh, it doesn't mean you can't comprehend, because I do believe that I am choosing words and using them in a fashion to eliminate confusion. So one thing that we can do for any contract, any paperwork, is to create a glossary of definitions. Now, that can get pretty tricky too, because then the definitions have to be interpreted. Um, now, again, to not get complicated, because I mean, from where I just left off, where you can start twisting this and start twisting that. No, 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 don't do that, because none of it matters. It's all bullshit. It's mail fraud, pure and simple. You can capture that driver's license. You can correct your mistake. Now, the post is totally separate from the judicial system. Completely different. Two different animals. Two different animals. The fraud that's got you in a box where you do not exist is going to be real surprised when you step over here and become a fact. And you deal with the post. Oh, they can't mail that fraudulent fiction driver's license to you anymore. Oh, what's the Secretary of State going to do? Oh, the banks can't mail your statements anymore. What's the bank going to do? Are you catching on? Yeah. The Fidelity account. I mean, come on, people. How many straw men do you need assassinated? Well, why don't you just get a hitman at the post? What do you think, Joe? How come we don't organize? Yeah, 3, 4, 5 people and go to the post office. Explain it to them. Video record it. Create a channel, a Rumble channel, a BitChute channel, a YouTube channel, whatever. Make it free share. Now, something that you folks probably really don't think about is the power in educating the useful the useful idiots. The useful idiots for the fuckery. I spent 2.5 hours with that jail sergeant. And I educated him. And I did it in a very calm demeanor, but yet I was firm. And there was no doubt and no hesitation in what I brought forward. A couple months later, the Kalkaska County Sheriff's Department apparently doesn't have the jail staff to maintain the jail and has to move all their prisoners. Oh, that must have pissed off old fat Fuckford. I mean, Pat Whiteford. No, I mean, fat Fuckford. That must have pissed him off. Frustrated him too. Yeah. Yeah. So you see, there's power in this. And the Kalkaska post office, they've had help wanted signs pretty much for the better part of a year. I don't know. The last time I was in there, I didn't see one but for about a year. Help wanted, the Kalkaska post office. Well, put the fear of God into these employees about mail fraud and their participation. And then let them know about Executive Order 13818. And then they're going to start asking questions to their boss. Their boss ain't gonna like that. No, no, the boss just look, just don't bother me. Do your job. But boss, oh, boss ain't gonna be happy. And then employees will start resigning because they would rather go hungry or find another job than hang for treason. I'm sure of it. So what does it take? You don't even have to create any paperwork. You take the evidence out of your mailbox and you take it there with your camera and tell them this is for public. This is to be disseminated. Why not? Don't you want the court shut down? My video, Assassinate the Straw Man, hit 100 views on YouTube 2 days ago. It's still sitting at 100 views. It broke the algorithm. It broke the algorithm. Now it's just pegged at 100. The talks, when I put the court in the title, that breaks the algorithm too. Those tend to get a few more views. So I know this is what's important to you, to every one of you. Two thumbs up. Notice and demand opportunity. No notice and demand. No opportunity to fucking cure. The system is corrupt. You can't. They ignore paperwork. All right. I'm talking about educating the useful idiots that are is dumbed down and intoxicated and enslaved is everyone. No. No. Well, hit them with court. Hit them with court. Give them that Americans Notice of Liability, which I call it a notice of liability, but nowhere on that document does it say notice. That's a document created in federal court. Serve that on them. And educate them about Executive Order 13818. Oh, it'll be so nice once Derek is there reporting. Maybe he's going to be the first legitimate report. I mean, we see reports. Real raw news. Real raw news. We see reports. But are they valid? Are they validated? Are they proven fact? I don't know. I want to know. But you see, Going to the postmaster, in my opinion, is not the move to make. Going to the sheriff or the undersheriff or the county commissioners or the mayor or the governor is not the move to make. It's their staff. It's the ones doing the work, the ones answering the phone, hitting the keystrokes, putting that mail fraud out through the post. They're the ones. They're the ones to talk with. They're the ones to educate. They're the ones you put the fear of God in. And by doing that, we break the system. You stop asking and stop looking for the system to make a correction on your record. That's the enemy. And you can analyze it until the cows come home, and it ain't going to do you a bit of good unless you take action. And the action has to be to tear the system down. The system is a fraud. You can't fix a fraud. Now, if the system has infrastructure, buildings, mechanics, etc., well, that doesn't have to be destroyed. No, that just gets repurposed into good. Are you catching it? Are you getting it? Can you comprehend that? Maybe offer, if you can offer those people a job. Oh, yeah. I mean, why not get smart about this? Or we'll help you find a job. We'll do a fundraiser for you. We'll get you some money, help you survive for whatever it takes till you find another job, or you start a little business. Maybe you start. When I was a kid, women used to make dresses. They made clothes. They'd go buy fabric and patterns and sit at their sewing machine. They could because they didn't have to work because the man worked. They could stay home and they could do it. So I mean, you women, you could have. I mean, there's so many ways to just start up a little business. Just make something and peddle it. Um, in so many cases, that stuff's so much better than what you're going to get at the big box store, where you have no choice. The only choice you got is what they got. We start making things again, we'll have all kind of good stuff. So the all caps name is a fraud. How many times a day does it go through the post? Hundreds of millions, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions. So can you do that? Can you face a postal employee at the counter with a camera and education? Give them copies of the mail fraud. Keep the evidence. Mark it as evidence. Mark it as evidence in the quantum. I do believe that's full colon, evidence, all caps, period. I believe it is. Well, yeah, I'm sure that's how it is for original. I don't know if I got a piece of paper right there. Um, that that will show. Um, that might show somebody that you have a little bit of knowledge that will scare the shit out of them. You know, I say they say keep your mouth shut and be thought of as an idiot, or open your mouth and remove all doubt. Well, that can be flipped. See, I mean, they got you so fucked up and twisted. Um, Actions speak louder than words. Let them believe that you are very knowledgeable and much more dangerous than you actually are. Hmm. And you do that by the way you make your presentation. And the more you do that, the more dangerous you become, because the more knowledgeable you become and the more confident you become. Now, the First Amendment auditors have proven to us time and time again that when the postal employees call 911 for the policy enforcement, they all get educated that recording in public is a slave right. I, the fact that you even got to question that, the fact that people will pick up the phone and oh my God. See, nobody wants accountability. They're on camera all day long committing that fraud. You come in there and catch them on your camera. Oh, they're not happy. Well, then they have a hard time sleeping at night. But you see, they are the useful idiots. And they're the easiest ones to convert. And when you convert them, the labor staff is deficient. And when the labor staff is deficient, that means the boss got to do all kind of fucking work because there ain't nobody there doing it. And then the wave of the people just keeps coming and keeps coming and keeps coming and keeps coming, and boom, it all comes crashing down. Any questions? Anybody got any questions on that? Print off the Americans Notice of Liability. Facilitate it. On the back side, well, do the upgrades like I suggested if you like. Reformat that top, doesn't take much. You get that $1 gold back stamp up there and your autograph and your thumbprint. You cancel that stamp, seal the document, flip it over, put your thumbprint and your quantum autograph on the back side so they can't flip it over in their fiction world and say there's nothing here. And it don't matter if they want to play that game with you or not, because you're there to put the fear of God in them, and flipping that paper over, ignoring you, isn't going to do them a bit of good, because you're going to tell them this is fraud. That makes this mail fraud. That makes you culpable from this minute forward, if not retroactive. Certainly from this minute forward, because you have been formed. You have the knowledge. And if you continue to do this, then you are 100% culpable. And 13818 is the seizure of all assets for human traffickers. And the penalty for drug traffickers is execution. What do you think it's going to be for human traffickers, motherfucker? Now, if you need a job, we'll do what we can to help you find a job. We can do some fundraiser for you, but you either have to um, stop doing it or be accountable. So it ain't gonna be hard. This is why Poopy Pants came and stopped my transfer information with his policy officer. It is. All right. All right, everybody. That's it for today. Well, I mean, not for today, for this YouTube. Come on now, that's too simple, isn't it? It is. Just get a couple of people together, go to the post office with a camera, own your authority, put the fear of God in these motherfuckers, make them vacate. Oh, that'll tear down the system. It'll happen quick. All right. You know, I love you. I love you, love you, love you. Make me proud. Own your authority.